Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. This session focuses on materials, use of written texts produced by native and non-native speakers. I hope and expect by the end of this session you would be able to understand how the written texts produced by native speakers and non-native speakers can be used in a variety of ways as materials in English language teaching classrooms. Well, if the focus is on English as an international language or as a lingua franca, the focus should be on oral communication, because the purpose is to prepare the learners or students to communicate in any functional situation, coming across any variety of English in the global context. Well, when it comes to oral communication, it is undoubtedly the main function, and because of the varieties and the multiplicities of the cultural norms, it becomes the main problem when it comes to English teaching of English as an international language or as a lingua franca. Written English, or written EIL, I would say, tends to be closer to native speaker norms, but nevertheless, it varies sufficiently to pose problems for the learners unfamiliar with particular varieties. What I mean to say by this is that when it comes to the writing, there are a lot of similarities as contrasted to speaking, in the native and the non-native varieties. Still, there are sufficient problems because of a lot of what I would say differences that still exist. Typically, in course books, learners only encounter texts that are either written in standard British English or in standard American English. So it would really help them if there were also texts that are taken from literature, from songs, from newspaper advertisements, from notices, instruction boards, blogs, tweets, emails, or letters written, etc. Because in this case, not only the non-native speakers' samples can be taken, but also samples can be taken from native language as well. So a combination of the native and the non-native kind of sample texts can be used as materials. These kind of materials, like I have mentioned, the songs, newspapers, literature, etc., they would provide them kind of encounters with ESL countries like Nigeria, India, Malaysia, as well as the EFL countries like Brazil, Egypt, and Japan. Instead of being treated as deviations from standard norms, such texts should be treated as varieties and as samples of authentic language use in different contexts. So there has to be a combination of both the native as well as the non-native texts, which can be brought into the classroom through the authentic texts of different varieties taken from different contexts of the use of English in the written form.